Okay, so you are welcome to beeeyemediacity. My name is Bernice Fatima, and the program is You with Bernice. Today we are going to talk about NSS in Ghana, viewing it from the perspective of engineers, because on this channel we discuss science, technology, innovations, talent, and leadership. And so please, you mention your name, you tell us something small about yourself, and we take it from there. So I'll start from Effa.
My name is Kwaku. If I want to mention the topic under discussion today, a smile just popped up on my face. So maybe I have a lot to say.
Okay.
My name is Kwaku. I graduated from UMAT last year. And yeah.
Please, why did you do your national service?
I did my national service in a TVET institute at East Lebanon called Design and Technology Institute, DTI for short. They are into training people, welding and fabrication, and entrepreneurship and development. And they introduced a new course called Design and Innovation. And that's the main reason I even went there, because the rest are really not in my field. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll move to Rahima. Rahima, please tell us something small about yourself and we move on.
Okay. My name is Osman Mwine-Numba Rahima. I'm an electrical and electronics engineering graduate from UMAT, University of Mines and Technology. I had my NSS with Johnson Energy Ghana Limited, an independent power producing company in Ghana. I think that's pretty much a summary of what I do and who I am.
Okay, thank you very much. So Nathan, please, your turn.
Right, thank you very much. My name is Nathan Ayisi Offei, and I completed UMAT, where I studied electrical and electronic engineering, right? I had my national service at Anglo Gold Ashanti Adu-Ampomah Limited. That's Kwaku. Yeah, and I think that's all for now.
Okay, thank you very much. Fatima.
Okay, so I'm Fatima-Bint Ibrahim. I'm also a graduate of the University of Mines and Technology, where I did computer science and engineering. I'm currently a core network engineer with Huawei, where I did my national service. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all very much. And so we are zooming into the discussion. So we are starting. NSS in Ghana. Most of us, when we are about to graduate, when we hear NSS, a whole lot comes to mind. And so the question today is, when you were about to also complete and you had national service in Ghana, what came to your mind?
After school, hearing about NSS, or even when I was in school, when I heard about NSS, my mind was just like, wow, this is now adulthood. Like, I mean, I'm going to start working and all that. And with the, you hear people from outside, you tell them that this is what you are going through in our project work. Like, yeah, you've not seen anything, or come into the industry. So like that tension, that pressure, like project work is a headache on it. So if you're telling me I'm going to meet a larger headache, then God, I don't know what I'm going to face. Like so many unexpectations and like, those kind of things can really make you overwhelmed, sad, like a whole lot of mixed feelings. Yeah. Looking to complete school, start a new phase, but then you're scared to go. So that was like the kind of feeling I was having before completing and going into my NSS period.
I can't really remember. When our postings came out, that's when it dawned on me that I'm actually starting NSS. I think it wasn't easy because you having friends moving up. I think I always came late, so having friends moving up and down, I got here, I got there. It's scary because you don't know where you are getting, and people are complaining. Mine wasn't good, mine is good. So you are just there, mixed feelings. All right, yeah, thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? who am I going to have as a boss? What's my boss going to be like? What am I actually going to do? How am I going to relate with people? All those things. Transitioning from academic life into work life. How is it going to be like? How am I going to manage? I'm going to take care of myself. I have to learn how to manage budget, everything. So it becomes a lot. So at that point, I had mixed feelings. I was happy I was leaving school, and then I was sad. Hey, Charlie, so right now I'm going to take care of myself. I'm supposed to pay for my own stuff. I'm not depending on mom and dad like too much as I used to. So I wouldn't lie to you. You have a lot of feelings, and you come as the days go, and you come as you think of what is involved with NSS and leaving school. So can't really say I was happy or sad. It was mixed. Everything's on my face.
Okay. So moving to the guys, let me ask. So when the postings came and the realities dawned on you, what happened? Like, what did you do? What was the feeling? Because let's say most of us, where we were expecting that we would be posted to, that wasn't where we were posted. So I don't know if someone was here who also someone is here who also faced the same issue. You tell us when that happened, what came to mind? What happened? Effa, kindly let me hear you. When your postings came, what happened?
Well, for me, in the initial stages of the whole NSS initiation, when I start to think of NSS, the first thing that came to mind was 599. I wasn't even thinking about where I'm being posted to, the company or anything. My first, to be honest, that's the first time I started thinking about how much are they going to pay me. So it was that was one thing that was influencing my decision making a lot. So when I came to the reality that, bro, you just finished school, you are just about to start national service. It's not really about the money and all that. I settled down and I started looking at a place where when I do my national service, I'll get some value out of it. So I didn't leave my destiny into the life of the National Service Secretariat because I realized that they messed some of my colleagues up with where they wanted to go and do their national service and all that. So for me, I took a personal decision to actually look for a place to do the national service myself. And that's how I ended up with DTI. So I can't really share experience on you not being posted to where you wanted to be kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Nathan, please let me hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. For me, when it comes to NSS, yeah, thanks to Ghana Chamber of my special education fund, where I have classes, they took me on internship, and then also tutored for national service. But I actually experienced being posted to where I was it being posted to a different place than where I was supposed to go.
Okay.
So it was when I received the posting, I was very confused, disturbed. I didn't know what to do because the scholarship guys had already told me where I was going. I've gone to the company to seek for like to tell them that, oh, this and this and this, the scholarship guy says I'm coming here for service. They've also agreed. And then the posting came, like they took my NSS pin and all. And then posting came and then I was posted somewhere else. It was really confusing. So I went to the company back and then we went to sort out things and then it took about 2 weeks for the reposting to come and then so within that period I was always thinking, what am I going to do? Where am I going? Like, am I going to where these people have posted me, or I'll still get the opportunity to go to Anglo Gold? So it was a lot of headache, but then at the end of it all, I was able to secure the place. So that was what happened.
So Nathan, I'm coming to you again.
Yes.
So when that happened, you see, there are some people that when it happens to them, to get a chance to go to another place becomes very difficult. Unlike your story, what do you tell those people? Let's say someone is going through that right now. In the future, definitely someone is going to face that. What do you tell those people?
Situations are different. You can find yourself in a very different. Mine was, but I was fortunate. Let me say that. Yeah, but when someone else gets into this kind of situation, I think if the person has somewhere to go, or like how if I was saying that he searched for a place to go and then he got DPI. So if you have somewhere to go and then you've been posted somewhere else, quickly you have to go to them and then make sure or get them to post you back to where you want to go. If you don't have any place, then I think the best thing is to just accept the posting and then put in your best in wherever you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Fatima, I see your hand raised. Please let us hear you.
Yeah, so I myself, personally, I didn't experience because the company I chose, that was the same place I got. But me, myself, I wanted to change at some point. Then I went through some hassle all around. But I ended up at the same place, which was not so bad. But then I'm currently in a group with current NSS aspirants or NSS candidates. And the company is a company that will pay them very well. I mean, they are going to train them in AI, machine learning, and like this in demand skills. They've gotten their NSS people. They sent their names to NSS, and then NSS gave them schools. Most of them were schools and agric institutions. And the company was actively involved in making sure that they post these particular people to their company because they are how many companies? There are not a lot of companies out there who are willing to pay NSS candidates to train them and offer them these skills. This company took about 40 of them and wanted to train them. And here's the situation, I feel like most of the problems is from the top, the NSS, the top, because I know that if the company takes NSS candidates into their company, they pay a percentage to NSS. Yeah. But if NSS posts them, they're not going to take anything. So even looking at it from a business mindset, you should even be happy that companies are taking candidates from you. Mm-hmm. And then they said if they've posted you to schools or any of that sort, they are not going to change it for you unless you do some special things, which is not supposed to be done. You know that. Yeah. So, I mean, if you find there's people who found themselves in that situation and then they've not been able to come out of that. They tried all sorts of means. They said they needed people in the schools to train students and all that. But here's the case where we have education students. We have students, when we go to UCC, there's a course that people do teaching in ICT. So like they have now they have teachers who teach specific like IT. So they are there. They need, but you realize they also go into different companies where they will not develop their value. So I mean, it's something that we as a nation we have to look into to put students where they would grow and where their value will increase. Because honestly, and if a student is to find, I know a lot of people who have found themselves in that situation. If you found yourself in that sort of situation, I think there's just one thing that I read recently, that nothing you learn or nothing you come across in your life is a waste. So suppose you were placed in a school like SHS, go and teach. I think, and you don't have anything to do about it as at now, I think you should go about it with a positive mindset that you are going to gain and go with your best and at the back of your mind, that by the time you come out of this, you're going to gain all the skills, or like as much skills that will be relevant outside where you want to really go to. Because when you are teaching, you get communication skills, collaboration skills. Like there are a whole lot of skills that you can gain from just teaching. And I mean, you should just go about it with an open heart and open mindset. And then wherever Grace will find you, definitely, or wherever you want to go, Grace will definitely find you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. But talking about some of these things, let's say someone would say that because you didn't go through it, that's why you are saying that. Because sometimes when you just think about the mere fact that a school like, let's say, UMath, for instance, I'll come to school 4 solid years. And
I didn't go through it. The company I wanted to go to, it's not like that's what I wanted to go to, but like, that's, should I say, I mean, that's the best I got. Yes, that's the best I got, so I just had to take it. So everybody has somewhere they want to go to. Some people get a chance or the opportunity to really go there. Some too don't get. So you just have to, it's just all about your mindset and your readiness to learn. And I guess, I mean, I wouldn't say because I didn't go through it, honestly, because it's all about having a positive mindset.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So the next question will be an open question. If you have an answer, you can raise your hand and we'll see. So when you are choosing a place to do your NSS, let's say someone has reached 4th year, the person is now thinking, where should I go? Where do I want to be? Does money matter, or should we consider value? Should we think about where we are going to do our national service, the money we are going to receive, or the value that the company or the place we are going to, the value we are going to gain? Should I say experience?
Maybe Rahima will answer this.
Yes, Rahima, please let me hear you. It's been long since I heard your voice.
Yes, definitely the money matters a lot. Like I said, we all went to school to get jobs, to get money. So ultimately, the money matters. But then to get the money, it's a journey, right? You just don't get up and start earning, right? You grew into being at this stage. So definitely you grow into getting the money. So it's a journey. I think you have to go through the processes and steps involved. So first, this is your first time being in the working industry and whatever. So you have to take your time. You first get the values, build yourself up before you can now think of, okay, now I have the values, I have the skills, everything. I can get the money on my own for you to consider the money, that one, top notch. But then you also have to look for the skill set before you go into looking for the money. Okay. So when you're considering NSS opportunities, there are lots you should consider before even the money. Where do I want to go into the industry? I want to go into academia. Okay. Do I want to be retained at this particular place? What aspect of my course do I want to go into? For example, engineering, electrical engineering. Do I want to go into power? Do I want to go into electronics? You get it. So you have to consider all those things first. They get the industry you want to go into. Then from there, I think you can now be thinking, okay, the skill set. Should I get it at this point? Should I stop? Should I start looking for money? But then, like I said, ultimately, we're all looking for the money. But you have to go through the processes to get to the money. Okay. So yes, money is very important. If I hope you agree.
Maybe I can add something to it. Oh, I agree, pa. Maybe I can add something to it. So
I agree with the money. I was thinking they will say because ladies and money.
Of course.
You are not coming to support the money.
Sure. Money is very necessary. And this is why I'm saying so. And as Rahima started by saying, at the end of the day, the main reason why you went to the school is to get a work. And you're not going to work and just be happy by I'm working, I'm happy. No. You are working because you need money. So the end goal there is money. It's clear. No plenty explanations about it. Just that what I have to add to it is that money itself is not like a good resource to boast about at the initial stages, because money is like the end goal. Okay, there are other resources that are more like uh, cherishable than money, especially at these early stages. Okay, and then one of those resources is time, and then the second resource is people. So these two things, time and then people. If you take those two things out and you go and chase the money, at the initial stages, NSS, maybe everybody's going to earn 599 Ghana cedis. 500, it's even 59, sorry, at our time. 559 Ghana cedis. And then maybe this company has promised you to give you maybe 1,200 cedis per month. So at that particular time, you feel like, oh, Charlie, this company is giving me 1,700 or 1,500 for NSS. I think it's good money. Let me just go into it. But have you asked yourself the question that where you are going after the national service ends? Because national service, you're not going to do it your entire life. After the national service ends, what is this money going to translate into? Because trust me, if they give you 3,000 Ghana cedis a month, it will finish. We are in Ghana. You know, the lot of you have been taking now. You can see. So it's really about for 1 year span. What are the kind of people you are meeting? What is the kind of how do I call it? Yeah. How is your time being used? So I said money and people and time. So what are the kind of people you are meeting, and what are you using your time for? For all you know, they've called you to come and do administrational work. You are sitting in front of the company. When people are coming, then you write their names and then they will enter and they call you administrator and they're giving you 1,700 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, you are an electrical engineer or you are a computer engineer. If this 9 month or 12 month ends, what are you making out of it? So perhaps if somebody will chance on this video of yours on YouTube before the person enters into national service, these are some of the things I think the person should consider. Not just the money there. As I said, I will not take back my words. Money is necessary, but make sure you are getting the people and then the time factor as well.
Okay. So my next question will go to Nathan. Nathan, do you think when we're about to complete school and people are looking for places to go and do their national service, there is this notion that people have that if you don't know anybody, forget about it. Just if you don't know anybody, just sit down in your comfortable zone and let NSS decide. If you know somebody, fine. Do you think it is true? Being in school, coming into the industry up to today, do you think it is true? And what should you say about it?
Okay. If you don't know somebody, I think once you're in school, you have opportunity to do some internships, right? And then it's through this internship that you can get to network with people. So if you go and have your internship at one of these companies or industries that you think you're interested in, first thing you do is that you have to make sure that you perform your work diligently, you be humble, and then respect your supervisors, your dependents, and then you network. So you have the opportunity to meet all these engineers, all these managers, and all. You have to network. And these network or professional connections that will get you to where you want to be. So definitely you might have to know some people, especially when you go and have attachments at places that you want to go. Knowing the people over there will also help you to get to where you want to be.
So
you don't just have to leave everything to NSS. And NSS can post you somewhere that you want to go, yes. But then having your professional network would also help you to get the required skill set that you think you need to start off your career or build your career.
Okay. Please, who else has something to say about this as well?
About the knowing people. You said people are saying that you have to It's either you know somebody or you are sitting down for national service to decide your fate for you. And I think it's very true.
Okay.
If you don't know anyone, your fate is in the hands of national service. And I can't sugarcoat it. But that doesn't also mean that you can't know it. If not, nobody's stopping you from knowing anybody. It is you who has decided to not know anybody. Knowing people is not only about your family members. Do you get it? People think that, oh, since my father is not the manager at Anglo Gold, or my sister is not the bank manager at this, I don't know anybody. And you are comfortable with it, you just have it down. Meanwhile, in this life, you can't go anywhere without knowing people. So you have to actually make like a practical effort to know people. And you are waiting for maybe level 400 before you start knowing people. Nathan, I'm not sure you sat down and waited level 400. Then maybe you started saying, oh, let me connect with people. No, not at all. Rahima, Fatima, I'm not sure. Do you get it? So at the end of the day, it's like you have to know people. Do you get it? I have no family member at Design and Technology Institute. I don't know anybody there. I don't owe anybody national service, opportunity as well. Nobody owes me national service opportunity. But I found my way there by trying to network and know people. Whatever you do, you have to know people. So I'll go with that, notion. If you don't know anybody, then live your life in the hands of national service. They will take you, they'll let you know people.
Okay, Fatima, do you have anything to say? Rahima as well.
Yeah, I have something to say.
Okay.
So knowing people, well, if you don't know people, but then there are opportunities out there. Because you have a phone, you have a PC, you have an internet connection, there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook. So you make use of all those. Right now, we have a lot of educational opportunities out there. People willing to sponsor you, people willing to pick you to do your national service. Just get yourself connected. We have all the necessary tools and materials with us to be able to do that. So this shouldn't be a problem of, do I know someone, do I know someone? Yes, it's a plus if you know someone, because it makes it all easy. If you don't know someone, you can still make that effort to know someone. Everything is helpful. Yes, so as I was saying, let's try as much as possible. That's for brothers and sisters that are now coming to have their NSS, to make use of this world we are in. Yes, it has its advantages and disadvantages, but let's try to make use of the advantages we have to us. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Fatima, please, let's hear you.
So one thing that I always say, or I always tell people, is that you should always you should have the energy or the love for attending conferences and meeting people. I don't know how much I will always stress on this. Conferences. I'm a lover of conferences because the number of people and the type of people that I've met in conferences, especially attending conferences back in level 100, and people say, you level 100, what are you going to do? Like they'll say opportunities for level 400 students, and you see me there, they'll be like, hey, well, level 100, what are you doing here? Not necessarily conferences, maybe opportunity talks. The first conference I attended was the SEO conference, and they're like, what am I? Just be there, listen, so that you might not know when that kind of opportunity will come handy to you. And when you go for conferences, you think probably you don't have anything to share or anything, but the people that you meet will enrich your connections. One day you get to, most of the people I have, like I meet during conferences. You talk to them. You make sure you take their number. That one is very necessary. Meeting people is not just there, and make sure you take their number. You reach out. You share your interests and all that. When there's time for, when you get to know that maybe you're working in this company or something, you can talk to them to link you up. That's your connection. That's the people you know. And you just met a person at a conference. Not like you went to some parliament house and you met a person. Just a common conference. Yeah, so you should. I really hope that, university students and even like the youth really take good use of meeting people at conferences and various, professionals meetings and societies.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now we are moving to personal NSS experiences. So let me start with Effa. Please, during your national service, let's say from the first day to the last day, is there something that, let's say, you wish you had not done? And is there something that you wish you did? This is my question.
Okay, so for me, I would say that I was very lucky to have like such positive advice like this before I started national service. So my regrets are not so plenty. Just that an inevitable thing occurred to me, which made me very disappointed in my company to an extreme extent, and for some policy reasons, or it's not really nice that I even spell out all the B's. But the short and tail is that a laptop that I've actually used my entire time in University of Mines and Technology to develop everything. Fatima, I hope you can relate if I say I develop everything with my computer. This laptop got missing at an event that the company organized. And the way they dealt with the situation was not nice at all. As a national service person who is like innocently entering into the job industry, and then a property of yours is missing on the line of duty. At the end of the day, they are making it look as if you yourself have to even pay for something that you've not really. So the service wasn't really nice. But so that's like an inevitable thing that happened. Nobody will envision it that once you're going to do national service, something of yours will be stolen. I didn't think about it at all. But in general, as I said, I was giving some of these positive advice before I started national service. So the regrets are not so many in that sense. Yeah, I had good relations with the people I was working with. In fact, it was to the extent that they want me and it's not me who wants them anymore. That kind of, I wanted to live there with that notion. Yeah, I don't want you to come and trash me after everything, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then just like you first said, before starting the NSS, I think I had people tell me, oh, what you're going to expect and what you're not going to expect, how you should go about your self and your days and duties. And I believe when you get to your various companies, I don't know for the others, but for you, we had an orientation, okay, how to conduct yourself and everything. So it wasn't really tough. Like he said, disappointments, I can say not much. I don't even think I really have any registered disappointment. The advantages are a lot, especially if you have the opportunity to get a head start, know what you're supposed to expect, what you should look out for, and all that. I think you are more than blessed, because it's basically like when you get there, everything is easy for you, it just flows. Okay. And so I would simply say, for me, it was a really interesting experience, a fun one. My NSS was really nice. Meeting a lot of people, and I'm someone who likes talking, so meeting a lot of people, getting to interact with people, having your colleagues around, you share a lot of wonderful ideas and stuff. It's nice. And you have the saying in school that, oh, what you learn, you're not really going to use it in the industry, or you're not going to use it when you start work. No. Although when you start working, it's more like on the job training. You are still going to use most of the things you learn in school. So that I will always advise. Do not listen to the thing that you won't use what you learn in school. You will actually use it. Okay, you would use it. So you get to meet a lot of people. You actually get to, how should I put it? Apply the stuff you learn theory-wise in school. You use it practically at the workplace. And you're going to grow. Generally, you're going to grow. You learn a lot. So I wouldn't lie. My NSS experience was quite wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I think I'll say something more about this. This wouldn't be something that I didn't know or I wish I had known, but I would just say to everyone that will be listening to or watching this that you should be open-minded. from the university, you are not going to stop learning. You are not going to stop learning. So be open-minded. Wherever you go, you have to make sure that the little things that you do, your body studies to do, they are all building up and adding up to your career. So be ready to learn and then make sure that you do your best on the job because you are going to get a lot of job training, as Rahima said. Yeah. And that would really help you when you are moving forward. So I think that's what I have to say. Just be open minded. Be ready to learn whatever they. There are some things that your bosses or other people will tell you to do that you may think that, oh, I'm not in this field. I'm not an electrical guy. I'm not a mechanical guy. Or I'm not I'm not that you be doing. But then you realize that in the future, that would be something that would really have an impact on how you relate to people, how you do yourself. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Fatima, please let me hear from you.
Honestly, I don't really have much to say about this one because just like everyone said, I really went through a thorough orientation. Our company we had about like 1 to 2 months orientation. We weren't doing anywhere, just training. So yes. So I mean, you know everything you're supposed to expect. I can't really say there's something that I regret or something. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Looks like I'm the only one who had a little bad experience.
I think I'll add that you should also know why you are there, why you are where you are. Yeah. Knowing that will help you plan your life, will help you cite yourself in the work you're doing. Then make sure that you also do it on a
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true because through my distress, sorry, Bernice, through my distress, as I wasn't comfortable with how they were treating me and all that, I knew what I was getting from them. As Nathan is saying, you should know why you are there. So that it looks like it overshadowed the distress. So I just looked over it.
Okay.
Well, let me just add this. One of the things I picked from my very first invitation is you should have, how should I put it, a plan for yourself. Your whole time there, you should have a plan. What do I want to achieve by the end of this 1 year? Your goals, let me just put it that way. So your short-term goals every week, what do I want to achieve? Then your long-term goals, probably at the end of this year, what do I want to achieve? Or by the 6th month of my NSS career, what do I want to achieve? So that is able to actually help you know why you are there or achieve why you are there. I don't know if you get it. Yeah. So that's one of the things I'll say. Have a plan for your life, set goals for yourself. It's not only in school, in your work career, to set goals for yourself.
Okay. Thank you all very much. So the next thing is, as Nathan was saying, respect your, let's say, your managers, your supervisors. There is this thing that was going on I think Twitter and TikTok. A lady was complaining. I think that one was internship, but I think it happens. People are saying it happens in national service as well. People sending you anyhow. They will say, you go and do national service, and they will send you to go and buy watches and stuff. Is it really true? And if it's true, do you think it is right and that the person should still obey because the person wants to prove humility and obedience and stuff? Please, anyone with any answer to this question can answer.
Maybe I can start.
Okay.
There's one word I can use to describe that, and if I'm permitted to say it on YouTube, it's incrassism. It is very like I don't know. It's appalling that someone has come to work for you and then you are sending the person to go and buy specifically waakye or beans. Yes. The reason why I'm saying this is because when someone sends you to go and do something on their behalf, or your supervisor sends you to go and do something on their behalf, in quote, it is termed as doing something outside your job description. And it's one thing that if you are an employee, top level performing employees, like something about top level performing employees, they usually are aligned to do things that are even outside their job description. It's fine. Do you get it? But I'm an electrical engineer, and if you want me to do something outside my job description, I don't see that it is to the level of going to buy waakye for someone. I mean, if somebody will send you to go and buy waakye for him or her, it suggests to me that they are not being professional. That's why I use the term in criticism, because I can work outside my job description. Fine, I don't have any problem with that. In fact, I want to, so that you see that I like the work, yes. But to the level of the waakye, media, I see that it's in criticism. But fine, if I have that kind of relationship with you as my supervisor, or maybe boys, I know times that myself I actually bought food for my supervisor before. Not because I was sitting down, I'm doing something. Hey, Kwaku, come, go and buy me waakye. No, it doesn't work that way. Maybe I was so free with my supervisor to the extent that when I'm coming to work in the morning, I call him. He can just say that actually, if you catch the waakye woman in place, could you buy me something? Because he was also quite a young person. He's not so old. Maybe the rest of you can relate with older supervisors, but I had a supervisor who was quite young, so the relationship was quite nice. So I'll reserve my comment on that.
Okay. Is any other input?
Yeah. So for me, I think that the whole idea of being sent to, I start to be corrected though, it stems from the company on its own. Like, if the company doesn't really have a lot of value to impact, we are just in the office, you're sitting down, you're not doing anything. It calls for, they have to give you work to do, and the work is go and buy me this.
You buy what you pay.
Because with my company, they'll tell you that you will not come and buy waakye for any. Like, there is so much work to do, Amma. You can't. But you
of course,
lunchtime will pass. You don't even remember to eat. Your boss will not remember to eat. You yourself, you don't remember to eat. So who is going to think about who is going to buy waakye for? So I think it all comes from the company that you find yourself in. The company will determine whether you will be in that kind of situation. If you're in a company that adds value, that teaches you your way up and running, doing work and all that, that wouldn't come into the question. But I have because in my company like this, people are going for lunch. Oh, please buy me this. It's like it's normal. That one day is normal. Like they're all going for lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing something right now. Just buy me something when you're coming in. So there was even a situation whereby one of my friends, his direct supervisor kept on sending him, even not like maybe like in the morning before we start to work. He mostly goes out to, like he kept on sending him to go and buy porridge, cocoa in the morning for him. And he was uncomfortable with it. And he reported to the manager. And the manager told him, you stop sending him. That's not the work he came to do. If you want to buy your food or something, go and get it yourself. That's not his work. As an NSP and your manager is in support of you, like, or is defending you like this. It's not all companies that are there like this. So so everybody and their story, but yeah, I didn't experience that.
Okay.
So, I haven't experienced something like that, but I've interacted with some friends who have. And what I think is, if you are experiencing something like that, or if you've experienced something like that, I do believe there are policies and things put in place to curb that issue. You have HR, you can probably send your issue to HR. Oh, I came here to learn, but I'm being sent always to buy waakye, always to buy waakye. Some of the sending, like they said, is friendly sending. It's like, guy is going, oh, Charlie, get some for me, girl, get some for me, something like that. But if it becomes excessive and it's unbearable for you, I do believe you
authoritative. Go and buy me watch it.
Their steps can go to your supervisor, then immediate supervisor, tell him, oh, this is what's happening and it's becoming too much. I actually want to learn something from the company or from my department. If he doesn't react, you can go again. I think there are steps. When you get to the company, you know the steps to which you can report an issue before you can get to HR NSS. But then I do believe that if something like that is happening, there are mediums you can use to curb this. You just don't, because I do feel like sometimes, okay, not always, but sometimes we keep quiet on some issues, waiting for someone else to come and solve them when we can solve them ourselves. So if you are experiencing something like this or you've experienced it, just go through the necessary mediums to solve it. Do not sit and be waiting for someone else to solve it for you. You can do it. And you are not there to be buying watch it. Well, they can send you once in a while, but you are not there to be buying watch it, to be buying coke. You are there to actually
You should have gone to do national service at a watch selling company rather.
If you want it, or you have your delivery service to be delivering watches to people. You get it. So I think just try to report it in a respectable way. Because this, I believe, can be checked.
One thing to Rahima, one thing to about reporting. When it comes to the light that you want to report, like, hey, small salary and sending you're going to report us or something like that, they can pay something.
That's why. Okay, let me answer. That's why I'm saying that there are mediums to which you send this report across. Okay, you don't just go straight to HR. Sorry if I meant
that. And the HR itself now, she's sending you.
You go through the various mediums. You go through your immediate supervisor, then the next person, then the next person, before it has to be escalated. If the immediate ones are not minding you, that's where you can escalate it. But even with that, I believe when someone sends you and it's becoming too much, you can politely let the person understand that although you don't have a problem or you can buy the watch, but you are there for a reason. Okay. I do believe through that sometimes when you let people know of their mistakes, it helps them realize that I'm also not doing right. I should probably be engaging you to learn something, not sending you to buy watch. If someone is doing something you do not talk, I believe the person will keep on doing, assuming you like it. But if you're able to come out and say, oh, I do not like this, or this is not what I'm here for, I want you to give me work to also go, I think they'll do that. Okay, so I always have the feeling that when someone is doing you and you do not like it, just let the person know, I do not like what you are doing, or this is not why I'm here. Okay. Yeah. But all this should be done in a polite way, not go and then try to argue with the person. That becomes a different issue. So that's the little I have to say.
Okay. So as we are talking about reporting, what about the stigma attached to people who also report others? Let's say, for instance, I heard a story where I think someone in a company, harassed a lady, a national service person, and she reported the case. And in the long run, they had to fire the person. Looking at someone like this, there's the kind of stigma that is going to be attached to your name, like, this person I know. What do you also say about it? Because it's not easy going to report like someone as a national service person. You go and something happens, you are going to report. People are going to talk about you. They're going to say a whole lot about you. Please, someone should say something about this as well, because it's the step.
Okay, so I think in every company there are policies. And then there are ones that are attached to sexual harassment. So when it comes to that, it shouldn't be taken lightly at all. Yeah. Once it's reported, something must be done. Even if you are stigmatized, I mean, you did the right thing to report someone who is sexually harassing you. So I don't know. It's something that should be done. If you are going through that experience, you would have to report. Yeah.
Okay. Please, any other inputs?
So one thing that Fatima started by saying was about value. The company you are in, are they doing anything valuable there in the first place? If you find yourself in a company, they're not really doing anything valuable, Charlie, that one there your own case. But then if you find yourself in a company which you are giving them value, they are also giving you value. Some of these things will not even pop up in the first place. Do you get it? For example, myself, about 3 or 4 months into national service, I applied for some funds and got the company to have about myself and 2 other colleagues, almost about $20,000. You get it? If people in the company like this are seeing you, a national service person, then look at your presence has even like taking us to another level. Like that's not the time to. It will be okay. It will be okay to you that send out this person to go and buy you watch. As I said, unless it's on a friendly level, as they were saying that, oh Charlie, oh you go out and oh Charlie, buy me this. That's fine. But it's like if I've come to national service, I don't have anything to do. The whole day I'm sitting down, nothing doing. That one they watch it. Yeah, I promise you, you will buy. Yes.
Okay. Please, any other person? Okay, so now we are moving to a topic that is so dear to my heart. That is saving during national service. We are talking about money. How do you manage your life? How do you save your money? Because I once talked to someone who did her national service, I think in 2020, and the person was like, when they were doing their induction to start national service, the HR manager told them that as a national service person, by the time you complete, you are supposed to save money to the extent that the money can be able to buy a plot of land. And I'm like, really? So please, I want to know.
By national service in NASA or
In today's Ghana,
In 2020. And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, like I know, because there are some people that pick cars every day in and out to go to their workplaces when they're doing national service. They will buy food, rent, and stuff. So how do you save money? I think this is going to be our last but one question. How are you going to manage your time, your money, everything? Let me hear from you, please.
this one they need to That's it.
When it comes to this topic of national service personnel and saving, I mean, there are different situations. And the extreme will be that as a national service person, you are in a, let's say, a government company, and you are in a location that is not close to your home. So you have to rent. You have to transport yourself, your commute to and fro from the workplace. And then you have to feed yourself. And so with all these factors, saving becomes a problem because the money you are actually getting, one, is inconsistent. It doesn't come even on the monthly basis. And then it's not enough to cater for all your needs. For you to be able to get some to even pay. But then it all comes to planning, you see. And then I think as a national service person, you are not completely on your own. Some people are on their own. But then if you can get the support of your parents or something, you shouldn't say I've completed school, so I don't need my mom again, I don't need my dad again. Like, you should accept their support. Yeah, and then yeah. So if you are getting that kind of support, maybe you are going from home, and then sometimes people get fed at work. So with that, I think you can do something. You can plan and then save a little for the future. But when it comes to the case that they are like completely dependent, like independent, and then you are also going to stay somewhere, you are going from your home to the workplace, which is very far. Sorry, by the time you finish the month, everything is gone, and then you even be in that. So it's a dicey situation. You can say if you have the ability to, but then if you see that what you are getting isn't matching up to your needs, you shouldn't tell yourself to try and see. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, please. I want to hear from
Um,
everybody too.
Oh, okay. So, what I have to say is, I think if your end goal is to save, then you should find a company that is going to give you more money, not more value. Okay. Because I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
when you hear NSS, your first thing should be saving. I won't lie, I won't lie. But we all went to the intention that, by the time I'm done with NSS, I should have saved 6,000, 12,000, this, that. Oh, please.
Good luck.
Good luck, it's tough, okay? You're out on your own for the first time. Well, like you said, you can't be on your own entirely. You still depend on your family, home for support. But you're trying to make ends meet. It's your first time being on your own. So it's hard. You budget well, there's budgeting and trying to keep in line with your budget and everything, but it's going to be hard. I don't think your first and foremost thinking should be, I want to save. For me, it should be, I want to survive. You should try to make sure that what you have is enough for you. Like, just try as much as possible to keep to what you are earning. Stick your budget to what your pay is, okay? Because saving I won't lie, it's not, well, for me, it wasn't possible. I tried, and I knew that it wasn't my calling for this particular period of my life. For NSS year, please just live your life. Saving is not a must. Yes, if you can do it,
Maybe
do it.
Fatima saved you.
Yes, I'm sure she might have. If you can do it, do it. But if you can't do it, it's not a must. Just learn to survive. Learn to live by what you earn. That's the first and foremost for now. And like I said, if it's that, this whole saving is come from you planning. What do you want to earn? Is it value you want to add to your life, or is the money you are going for straight away? So that should be what you should be looking out for. What do you want at the end of it all? What do you want as you're going into NSS? That should be what should inform where you are going for your NSS, where you are going to stay, what you are going to do at your NSS, and all those things. So first and foremost, you should have a set mind, know what you want, what you're about. And that will be able to determine whether you're going to save or you're not going to save, or you're going to survive. That's what I have to say.
I think this conversation is even going to be more beneficial to me than the people you are going to share it with on YouTube, because I thought I was the only one in this situation. I was like, hey, what is wrong with me? Why can't I save? Sometimes I'll plan, budget this month there. I'll cut off this challenge. That month's plan, I'll spend more. I don't understand. Like, my transport, if my transport alone, one day I did, so I got an app. I was tracking my expenses. Oh, my transport alone was 500 seats. Like, how? I'm sure maybe Nathan will be able to save, because Takwa there, that place enjoyment. And here, but Accra, if you're in Accra here, God, Accra and saving challenge, forget. Even workers are not able to save. Now you NSS. If we talk about maybe planning and cutting off certain things, but I started to cut off certain things, and it was becoming a detriment to me rather. So I just had to go back to I wasn't eating for like eating, and I was becoming slim, and my brain power was not so, like, Charlie, I had to start eating plain, because like the saving, unless you are very good, like I know people who have been able to, and also those who are staying with their parents. So like I know someone who was staying with his parents, and also I got we have buses in our company. We have buses that send people home. So where his bus starts taking people is at his house. He just walks and he meets the bus, and then the last stop for the bus is his home. He stays with his parents. He doesn't use his money. His mother cooks for him in the morning. Doesn't use his money. Doesn't use transportation. Charlie,
Sorted out.
Sorted. Like me, I was also staying with my parents, but I had to deal with transport and sometimes food as well. And the transport alone, it's not easy. So just as they were saying, it depends on your goal. You shouldn't also be too hard on yourself if you are not able to save. Yeah.
The goal is to survive and make it through this NSS career. Then you can think of saving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I hear people saying that, so you weren't able to save your NSS. Hey, what are you using your money for? Like, it's not easy now. It's not easy. Like, when you go into the market, especially in Accra, that's what I'm saying, Nathan. Right now, Nathan has some 6 billion somewhere.
When you start earning, you would understand that how your parents were fishing for you, and giving you school fees, giving you money for school and all those things. Sometimes you think about those things and you're like, yeah, your parents are really trying, but this thing that you are doing, that you're getting this amount of money. Sometimes you think that, oh, I'll be able to save, I'll do this plan, I'll do this budget. At the end of the day, nothing will come. You're not saying that you shouldn't try to save, or when you have the capacity to save, you shouldn't. But then it's you. If you have the capacity to save, you do it. Even if it is maybe once a week or twice a week that you can put down every month, you should do it. But then if your expenses, your needs, not your wants. Your needs. If your needs are such that
sometimes that's so small.
I know.
Yeah, if your needs are
Chill. Don't say you're saving. Chill. NSS. When they are saying they are going for
for me. Oh, Fatima, continue.
Oh no, it's okay.
So for me, from like an entrepreneurial perspective, it was one of the main reasons I didn't even want to do national service in the first place. It took Miss LC Effa, that the NSMPO woman, and a few other people like in my network to actually psych me to do the NSS, because I was thinking about this same thing, Charlie. Money. To an entrepreneur, you are trying to make money. But this is the point in life where you're going to enter into an industry that is rather going to take money out of your pocket. Yeah, if you are money minded, you're always looking for opportunities to bring money into yourself, then money should be leaving you. But if I'm going to serve the nation, and then the nation is not going to pay enough to the extent that I have to even serve the nation with like extra money from me. As Fatima is, if you're in Accra and you have to move from somewhere like Tema all the way to East Legon, it looks like a short distance. But I tell you, the kind of money these mates and Uber and Troskis like will be taking from your pocket within a month. If you calculate it, you'll be overwhelmed. I've spent 800 Ghana cedis before in a month for transportation, and your national service is 599, because in East Legon, Troskis are not moving there up and down. You have to do an Uber. The food they're going to eat, you won't get the woman near Umat, the Gobewura over there. You won't get her to give you food under 7 cedis or 15 cedis. You have to really bring money out of your pocket to buy something and survive. You can't die. Yeah. The first time I received my pay, I was on a beach with someone. I can say the money, it almost got finished over there because I was in chilling mode. So everything got finished over there. So saving there is not really, I don't know, maybe if you want to make money, do something else. And yeah, NSS now they buy your, what they say, like money making scheme at all, not at all. Take it out of your mind.
Oh, I think that's very true. For most of us sitting here right now, I can say you have something small, a side business. And now the advice if you want to start it now. This is the best time. Either you're promoting
Yeah.
something, if you're working on something. Because I believe if I is working on something, Fatih is working on something, Nathan has something he's also working on. I am working on something. So it is best to start now. And if you grow with it. Not that if you can do
Yeah,
both,
look for other money streams.
if you want to, yeah, Charlie, like we said, money is the ultimate thing, but you have to go through the process. It doesn't mean that you should skip some or no. Just grow with your business while you work, while you do. If you can do 3 businesses, if you can do 3 things around, do it. But just make sure that you give it all your best and you give it all the time you need to grow.
Okay, so our last question, and we bring the session to an end. The last question, or let me say the last thing is, what do you tell Ghanaian students and incoming national service persons? Which advice would you give to someone who would do national service in Ghana, whether this year or subsequent years? Please let me start with Fatima, then we move in that order.
Okay, so one thing that I would say, or I always tell people who are seeking to grow, is that you should make yourself teachable. If you are not, make yourself teachable and hungry to learn. If you are not willing or you are not enabling yourself to be taught, whatever, even if there's something to learn around you, you're not going to see it. Make yourself available or like a vessel for knowledge to get in. So if you find yourself in a company, try as much as possible to gain as much knowledge as you can within the space. If you think the company is not a company that really teaches a lot or there's nothing really going on, engage with top persons in the company. What can I do to help you? What can I like? Just make sure that you're making good use of it, because you yourself now the time and the transport and the money you're spending to get to the place, you can't go and waste your time and sit down. Try and make sure that you gain as much knowledge, as much, even if it's teaching, it is whatever. Try and get something so that you will be valuable enough to get, if you have to say you have to apply for an entry level role in that company, you get it straight up and you'll be able to get income from that or salary from applying or something like that. So basically being hungry and teachable, hungry to learn and teachable, and humility. Humility is very, very essential. One thing that I realized from my bosses and people in the company I was that even though sometimes things are not going as planned as you want, like I just admire the sort of humility they have, the patience. Sometimes life is not, we feel like sometimes you just have to go for what you want, but you realize that there's beauty in humility and the results that it brings out. You realize someone, you think the person should get more than what he's getting, should be more valued than what, but you realize that the sort of humility and patience that a person has embodied throughout the years, when that breakthrough finally comes, it's so beautiful. And it's like it's rewarding in that sense. So I felt humility is also very important when you're going into the job space. Humility, respect, and being teachable. Yeah.
Okay, so Effa, please let me hear you.
So that advice I would have should even cut across national service, because it's a basic thing. Firstly, I'll touch on the first things that I said earlier: time and then money. And it's in complement to what Fatima just said. You are taking money, paying trotro drivers to get to your workplace, only to go and sit there and do nothing for close to 1 year. That's a big question mark. So if you are watching this video now and you've not started national service, take this advice. Make sure you make a lot out of you going to institution. If it's a skill that is being taught at that institution, make sure you are learning it with all due humility. And with the humility is not yes, please. Humility is not putting your hands behind your back. Humility is not being timid. That is not humility. Humility is an attitude. It's a beautiful character. Yeah, being ready to learn. Sometimes your hunger to learn alone is a sign of humility. You don't need to express so much. Just your hunger to learn is enough. And everybody will like you for it. Everybody will be willing to teach you. Everybody wishes to say that, oh, I'm the one who taught him how to do this. You should take advantage of that. You see, people take pride in saying, oh, I'm doing this. Me, I'm very happy if you are willing to tell me that I'm the one who taught you this, because I cherish it a lot. Yes. I'm not 30 years old. Before I reach 30 years old, I'm sure I've learned a lot from many people because of this mindset. So maybe anyone who wants to do a national service should take this into consideration. Yeah.
Rahima, please let me hear you before I go to Nathan.
All right. So one of the first things I'll say is be greedy for knowledge. When it comes to getting to learn stuff, be greedy as much as you can. Try your possible best to learn as much as you can. Okay, it's all about, and to do this, you need to be humble. Bring yourself down to learn. If it's about knowledge, be greedy about it. Bring yourself down. Do whatever you can to get the knowledge, get the skill. This is all about building yourself. It's not like you're doing this for someone else. You're doing it for yourself, making yourself better, putting more value on yourself. So be greedy about gaining knowledge and learn. I'm so happy to say I'm at a place where the people there are always willing to teach. They always want to teach. You want to do this, they'll teach you. So I would always say, be greedy to learn. Learn as much as you can. If it means you can learn from here to New York, learn from here to New York. Just be greedy with gaining knowledge, okay? And be humble. Those are the things I would say. But also, when you get the opportunity, open yourself up. Get to be with people, socialize, get connections. In this world, it's not only about who you know, but Charlie, it matters who you know. You get it. So just open yourself up and be ready to learn.
Rahima, you are saying who you know. Right now, there is who knows you. Like you have to let your managers know you that you are active in the campus. Now, when opportunities come, they'll see you. Sometimes we're like, who are you? They don't know you. Let them know you.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It might not matter, but then Charlie, it does.
Yeah.
Who know? Yes, you have to. That one. So socialize, get the people, know them, be ready to learn, be greedy about learning, humble yourself. Everything you need to do to improve yourself, do it. It's all about making yourself better and making someone better. And I also say, we get to our various workplaces, let's try to give out the respect we want to get back. Because I always believe what you put out there is what you receive. So if you want people to respect you, do things that would make them respect you. Okay. And this is, like I said, two things I learned from bosses. One said, learn as much as you can. And the other said, the reward for a good job done is more work. And that saying, I think I've heard it twice since I started working there. And so I would like to say, just be greedy with learning and open yourself, humble yourself. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, Nathan, please let me hear you.
Okay. So I'll be talking about a number of things. Like one, I know prospective NSS people who watch this, those who are currently doing going to do their NSS, and then all of these people. So before you go to a place, you have to research about the company. You have to understand what goes on there, and then prepare yourself for the national service. Like, you should be open to meet new people from different people. There are lots of people coming people from north, south, east, west. Some even working on the companies that have people coming from outside the country. Yeah, so you should be ready to embrace diversity, right? And then you should approach your service with positive mindset or positive attitude, right? It can make an impact on your experience and then whatever you learn over there. You should be open, and then it's not that everything will be smooth for you whilst you are there. You may encounter some challenges, and or you should be able to adjust yourself to uh, what do you say?
Situations.
You should be able to adjust yourself to new situations. Anything that comes up, yeah, flexible, adaptable, and then build your connection. This thing is very necessary when you are working. There are two things that you need. One is your professional currency. Sorry, is it performance? Yeah. One is performance currency, and then the other is social currency. Connect with your bosses, connect with your managers. You can even connect with your MD and other people outside the company. Yeah. So networking is key. And then your performance currency, that's your professionalism. You should treat your service as a job. Should be punctual, responsible, have a strong routine that something you are doing because it's mandatory. Service national service is something like this. But you should treat that as like your actual job, and then that would communicate your professionalism at the workplace. Yeah, and then you should use your service
Yeah.
yeah as a time that you should be able to learn, develop yourself, your personal and professional development. You should acquire new skills, new knowledge, right? So that even if I was ignorant over there, right? And then you can also aim to leave a legacy, do something that is impactful on the company, on yourself, on the people around you, and then the community in which you are in. You can bring up wonderful projects that would communicate how okay how smart you are, and put it out there for people that come after you, right? To know that oh, if this person was able to do this, then I can even do better. You understand? So I think these are some of the things that I see. Yeah, and then you have to plan for your next step. Once you're in school, you have to
Yeah.
plan for your service. Once you're in service, you have to plan for your job. Yeah. So once you are doing your service, you make sure that you plan for your future, the next kilometer ahead. To be able to put things in place. It's not everything that will go as you want it, but then if you have something in place, it's actually better than having it like
Yeah. I was just about to touch on that. We can't end this conversation without highlighting that fact. You do more harm than good because it doesn't end at the national service place. So I was going to talk about branding. At the end of the day, whatever you get from your national service 1 year training, you have to add it to yourself as a brand, okay? And the way employability looks like, especially on LinkedIn, if I want to employ you, I'll feel more confident if I have already seen you doing some things already. So you may be of very high value, but you are not putting it out there. I don't know what you can do. For example, especially for those in tech, for example, if you're a computer science or computer engineer, you know this particular software or one or two things, and you are not really putting it out there for people to know about it. So when you go for an interview fresh, you are now coming to start to like share a life story to them. If you had put yourself out there already and people had already seen, oh, this the moment you enter an interview, they'll be like, this is the guy who is into this and this and this. The talking will reduce at all because you've already established a certain image. So one, gather the skill, and then let it contribute to your brand as an individual. You'll be fine for your next steps after national service.
Okay, so if there is no other thing, I would like to say a very big thank you to you all. Effa, Nathan, Rahima, Fatima. Thank you all very much for coming here today to share your stories with us. We really appreciate your time and your advice and everything. I hope to see you once again some other time. Have a nice evening, have a nice afternoon, and God richly bless you all. Okay, so bye.
Have a nice evening from my end.
Same here.
Enjoy your days.
Okay.